Okay, unless you've been living under a rock the past few days, you will know that a comedian that you've probably never heard of before, Joe Coy, bombed at the Golden Globes last week. Now, there are some lessons to be learned here for all of us. Not how not to bomb, because he was always going to bomb. It was the Golden Globes. But how not to bomb like an ass. Like if you're going to bomb, and we all are at some stage, bomb like the best. So this isn't just a video about public speaking. It's a survival guide for when your moment in the spotlight takes a nosedive. So stick around, because the insights we're about to go into are the ones you don't think you're going to need until you absolutely, inevitably do. All right, my name is Richard Mulholland. I'm a professional speaker and presentation coach. And in this video, we're going to break down the lowlights of Joe Coy's recent Golden Globes appearance to see if we can learn from his misfortune. Remember, it's not bombing, it's learning.
My hope is that if you're not a comic or a performer, you can apply these things to your everyday bombs.
Look, let's get real here. Watching Joe's routine was like watching somebody try to light a wet firework.
Oppenheimer and Barbie are competing for cinematic box office achievement. Oppenheimer is based on a 721-page Pulitzer Prize-winning book about the Manhattan Project. And Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies.
Shame. So here are the three main what not to do's that we can learn from this performance. Number one, don't laugh at your own jokes. Number two, own your set. And number three, if you're gonna go down in flames. Let's look at point one. Nobody was laughing at his jokes, so he laughed himself like he was his own biggest fan.
The key moment in Barbie is when she goes from perfect beauty to bad breath, cellulite, and flat feet. Or what casting directors call character actor.
Man, if you got to be your own laugh track, maybe comedy isn't for you. And I get it. I always say that the first law of presenting is that your audience can never enjoy experiencing a gig more than you enjoy giving it. But that wasn't enjoyment though. It was panic dressed up as irreverence. Point number two, own your set. There were two critical mistakes he made in this regard. The first was he made excuses and apologized. This was terrible. This is like the presentation equivalent of people who show up and they say, I'm so sorry, that this is all just, my slides look messy. I just kind of worked it together on the plane in the last 2 hours.
Yo, I got the gig 10 days ago. You want a perfect monologue? Yo, shut up. You're kidding me, right?
Unacceptable. If you can't own the gig, don't take the gig, right? I have never in my life shown up on stage and made an excuse, right? If I failed to do something, it was on me. If you have a choice in the matter, you should never show up with excuses. That wasn't the worst part of this though. This dude threw his team under the bus.
Like I said, I didn't write all these. That one's not mine.
And then he made it even worse when he followed up with this beauty.
Slow down. I wrote some of these, and they're the ones you're laughing at. Look.
The first part would have been okay if he had completely reversed the second part. So instead of blaming them, if he said, to add insult to injury, you're only laughing at their jokes, that would have been funny. It's a well-known trick in comedy and presenting that, if you're going to joke about people, do it at your own expense first. This was the opposite of that, and it was horrific to watch. This isn't just about losing your audience, it's about losing yourself. When you're up there under those lights and the joke dies harder than a John Wick extra, you've got two choices. Flop like a soggy rusk, only South Africans will get that reference, or stand tall and own it like a boss. He certainly didn't do that. And this leads me to the biggest sin he made, and that's this. His set was not just bad, it was boring.
White people stole everything. You guys stole everything. Not like 97%. You guys stole 100% of everything.
He took no risks with his material. People need to forget trying to be the best, and they need to start focusing on being the favorites. And as I say in Legicide, which is 10 years old this year,
it's your birthday.
You can't be someone's favorite anything unless you're willing to be someone else's worst. Look, there's a reason that he signed up for the Globes just 10 days before the gig. That's because everyone else turned it down. No matter what he said on stage that day, someone was going to hate him for it. My friends, that is the tax that you pay in order to be loved by someone else. Nobody loved this, especially not the people in the room. In fact, the one frustration I have about the audience is the audience were trying not to laugh at being roasted. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up. But that's a different video. Look at Gervais sets, right? They polarized and people loved or hated them.
If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off. Okay? So...
Heck, half the world thinks he should be cancelled for his latest special, and yet he won a Golden Globe for it that very night. Nobody loved this. You either hated it or you forgot it. And as a speaker and presentation coach, I can tell you that the former is way better than the latter. I'll take hate over indifference every day of the week. That's the real moral of this story here. No matter what you do or say in your life, some people are going to give you shit for it. We need to stop dodging that tax payment. So what if people disagree with you? The people in the market for boring are spoiled for choice.
I mean, is there anything more boring than just hearing about some guy crushing it in life? It's like, dude, perfection isn't interesting, you know? So get out there and mess up. That's my motto.
The reason this guy feels irrelevant right now has nothing to do with people disliking him. It's because he simply failed to say anything that was both funny and interesting. However, I do want to end by giving him a little bit of props. You see, he took the gig that nobody else would take and became a household name because of it. Maybe a few years from now, he'll be the ex-Golden Globes host that is winning an award for a controversial Netflix special. And if he does, it sure as shit won't be in spite of this gig. All glory goes to those that are brave enough to step into the arena. And if you want to do that, then certainly check out our speaker training program, storytostage.co, so we can help you take to the stage, but the right way. If you want to see the brunt of one of Joe's jokes on the night, then definitely check out our Peaky Blinders breakdown next. Lead loud.